Now, just before we get on to talking about Go, Elena, aka Alicia's best friend. I don't know if you guys know, but Alpha did say that there is a water assassin unit in the works. Kind of makes sense to me. I'm just saying, could be picture perfect.
And this is?
But anyway, we're here to talk about the Man of the Hour, the first Arise Festival, who will be releasing in about 18 days time. So that is pretty interesting. Now, with all that being said, you know, there's a lot going around, a lot is being said about this man, and I guess we got some sort of confirmation on what we can kind of go off from. So Alpha came out to provide us with this beautiful screenshot, and it gives us the two things that we're kind of, well, what we're wanting to know is the attribute, which is light, which at the end of it all, with all our speculations, it was more leaning towards to be light, as much as I would have wanted to be wind, but obviously with where wind is at right now, and with what they're planning to do with wind, Go isn't fitting into that scene, and so light, keeping it, I guess, lore-wise the same and whatnot, keeping it true to the lore, I guess. Yeah, he's going to be light. Attacker, though. Wasn't expecting... Well, no, I take that back. I do take that back, because, I mean, I've done a video on it. I mean, I was more leaning towards possibly a break. I mean, he could technically still be a breaker. Let's not take that away. Possibly. But he is going to be an attacker. With all that being said, obviously we lost... Well, I did the same thing when we found out that we've got a water assassin and just kind of looked at the assassin units that we have. And from that, we kind of understood the situation that when Amamiya was going to release as the first ever SSR assassin type character, that she was going to be broken, and lo and behold, you're damn right, she is ridiculously insane. So, as we expected it, she is here, and she is kicking ass, doing a ridiculous amount of damage. I still can't get over it. But Go is going to be an attacking character, and well, HAE-IN, it's been an absolute pleasure. I salute you for all what you have done and still are doing for us, but it's time for your replacement to come on in. It'll be interesting. I really didn't expect it to be an attacking character. I was really betting on for it to be a breaker. I really thought Go was... I mean, technically speaking, could Go still... I don't know. No, in all honesty, I was really banking on Go to be a breaker, because I was hell-bent on him being like almighty break and whatnot, or maybe having heavy break on both of his basic skills, or something stupid. But that does not seem to be the case, because, you know, in my eyes, HAE-IN is still kicking ass, you know, especially with the recent buff that she's got. I just really didn't see Go to kind of, in a way, replace her. But here we are. Now, the other interesting thing about all of this is that we have a 50-50. We've got two sets that work off from defense, and the other two work off from the attack. So obviously when the game first initially started with these characters, the way that the developers decided to go about scaling off these characters, as you guys can see, it's going off from their defense, which is, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's an attacking character. Let's build up their defense. Bit of an awkward one, but it is what it is. And then when they decided to bring in new characters and whatnot, as you guys can see, they then decided to go, wait, let's do attack. Let's scale off from attack. Smart idea, smart idea. So I think it's fair to say that with Go, you know, he's probably more than likely going to be scaling off attack. I hope so. I swear to God, if he releases and I see defense, that is going to be awkward. Very awkward. But we'll have to wait and see on that. But it's more than likely going to be attack, only because the newer characters are scaling off from attack. Now, let's forget about the two win characters, because in a way, kind of outdated. Dongso kind of needs a little bit of a glow up. Let's just kind of move past him. And let's focus on the two characters that are still chewing gum and kicking ass. Is that the saying? I don't know. More importantly, HAE-IN. Now, the thing to take away from both of these characters is that they do have some craziness in terms of applying themselves with some buffs that can pile up and actually make their kit into something crazy, and the end result is them doing a ridiculous amount of damage. Now obviously with Beast, he has the additional where he can also scale off from his HP to where if he has less HP, that then accumulates into him doing some more higher additional damage. HAE-IN is more in line of just kind of doing damage, as well as she's doing that damage, as she's using that skill, It's piling on with the consistency, with the buffs that she's applying for the end results for her ultimate to really come in and just nuke the enemy. If the enemy is branded, then obviously that's an additional 30% coming her way. So again, things in their kit to pile on so that the end result does a lot of damage. That's kind of what these characters are. That's what the attacking characters do. That is their role. Damage, 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 buff, nuke with their ultimate, and rinse and repeat, of course. And so that is why, I guess, a lot of people are excited for Go. A lot of people are skipping and saving for Go. Understandable. I truly do believe that he is going to be setting a whole different level of bar in terms of where things are right now. Amamiya, she's fantastic. She's great. Don't get me wrong. Loving her. But I think Go is going to be somewhat insane. Probably far more surpassing her. I mean, then again, he is a vessel ruler. He is like a character that's on like the National Hunter level in terms of power. You know, he may be an old frail man, but when it gets down to business, yeah, Go does get going, of course, pun intended. Now, again, one thing which I've always mentioned, you know, when it comes to the power level creep and with where the bar sets, when the game first started, when it came to the global release, it was light that set the bar to a whole new standard. And here we are once again approaching the first ever Arise Festival, celebrating the 100 days for how long this game has been out for, and Go is going to be coming in the building with an attribute that has set the game to a whole new level, and it will continue to do so with the first ever Arise Fest. I am sold. I am hell bent of letting you guys know that I do believe Go is going to be a must summon. If you can save whatever you have to gain those dupes, then do so. Obviously, with the light attributes, there are talks about Baron. Obviously, that is the next big piece of content which we need to kind of prepare ourselves for. Apparently now, Baron's going to be weak to dark. God knows what's happening there, but apparently that's the story mode. It is come to light, again, pun intended, that the workshop of Brilliant Light, when it comes to furthermore adding bosses onto that, because they will do so now that we're at the 100th floor for the Baron content, of course, that the next set of workshop of Brilliant Light bosses will have the weak element of light. Obviously, the wind and water element will still be there for Vulcan, etc. But when it comes to like floor 80, floor 100, when that gets added onto Workshop Brilliant Light, it is going to be catered heavily towards Go. And so with that, it will be interesting to see on one, how difficult it will be, and two, how much of a cakewalk it will be with the release of Go, and how crazy of a character that he would be. But I was hell-bent to say that he was going to be a breaker, but they decided to say, HAE-IN, take a step back. It's time for the man. It's time for the men to take over, I guess, if you want to call it that, you know, since everyone's complaining about so many women dropping. But here we are, Go about to be the forefront of this game. But yeah, just kind of wanted to give my opinions and thoughts on that. I can't wait. It is time. He is going to be releasing in 18 days. Save what you can and prepare yourself, because I think this is the character that we want to go all in for. I truly do believe that his damage output is going to be something insane.